and namaste. Today we are going to talk about a few chapters which is related to grade 12 sociology or social studies or whatever we want to say. We can say that, right? So mm, today we will be talking about the present life subsistence in Nepalese society. What are the sources of earning, or what are the means of earning for the living for Nepalese society, right? This is the main concept that we will be talking in this chapter today. Okay, what are the present life subsistences? What are the sources of earning for the living of Nepalese society, Nepalese people? Okay, so agriculture is the main source of the life subsistence in Nepal, because most of the uh, people in Nepalese society, they are dependent upon the agriculture. So it is really important to understand that the main source of living for Nepalese society is agriculture. Uh, but in a way, if we look at this reality that going on in the society, people have been doing the agriculture work in very traditional manner way. Okay, we are not that equipped with the resources, technology friendly resources that has been into the agriculture sector in the global world today. Okay, large populations in Nepal are involved in agriculture for the living in Nepal. Even if larger population is involved in agriculture, most of the agricultural practices are in traditional manner. Okay, so and then what are the main basis of existing subsistence in a Nepalese society? What are the main basis? Not only the agriculture is the main subsistence practice in Nepal, but what are the other bases of subsistence, present subsistence or existing subsistence in Nepalese society? नेपाली समाजमा मान्छेहरूले कसरी आफ्नो जीविकोपार्जन गरिरहेको छ त भन्ने विषयमा यो टपिकमा हामीले के गरिरहेछौँ त कुरा गरिरहेको छौँ। ओके, र त्यसको द मेन सोर्स अफ द लिभिङ, मान्छेको जीवनयापनको नेपाली समाजमा मानिसहरूको जीवनयापनको मुख्य स्रोत भनेको के छ त कृषि छ भनेका छौँ हामीले। तर कृषि पनि whether it is in a larger production or it is just for the household use, are we able to produce in a larger extent, or we are just producing for our household use? Okay, these are the things that we need to understand. Okay, then agriculture, we have already talked about it. The vegetation, crops, cottons, and other agriculture related production, and the transaction, that is the economical transaction or social living that has been assured by the agricultural related activities is known as the agricultural sector of subsistence in Nepalese context. Okay. And then there is another aspect. Most of the people, whenever they talk about the agriculture, then they think the livestock also comes within the agriculture. Yes, it comes, but it is related. But agriculture means more related to plant, and then livestock means more related to the meat products or animal related products. Okay. So livestock are also another subsistence in Nepalese society, also known as animal husbandry, farming animals, right? And then birds and fish farming. There are many practices which are related to the production of animals and birds and fish and all. And then employment. This is also another contributing factor for Nepalese living. That is employment. That is about all about the jobs, whether it is in government or NGO in the private sector or where it is. But there is limited option for jobs in Nepal. Unemployment rate is high in Nepal. foreign employment, remittance is also another very important aspect of employment in Nepalese context. Okay, there are more than a mm, 50 lakh people who are living in overseas for their living of their family, or there might be multiple reasons. Like some people might love to go there and then like enjoy their life in freedom. But there are uh, multiple uh, reasons that people go abroad and for the foreign employment. Okay? And then business, there has been small business sectors growing all around Nepal, right? And there are certain big industries as well. So this is also another subsistence system in Nepal. But the businesses has not yet been flourished in an efficient manner. Okay, and the industrial sector, it is very minimum in the practice, because people are not that confident in production sector, because they are more involved in service sector and all. So the industrial development has been lacking in Nepalese context, but still there are certain small industries or a few large industries that has been invested from some elite group of people, a Nepalese group of people. So yeah, this is the condition of industrial sector. It is also very important to ensure the employment for the societal people, and it ensures the prosperity of the nation, right? And business sector, but whenever we talk about the business sector, that is all about the entrepreneurship and all. Okay, most of the people, the youth, young people are really interested into entrepreneur sector. But because of not having sufficient support from the concerned state authorities, people are not being able to get the um, actual support, and they are not being able to flourish their businesses in an efficient way. Both industrial sector and business sector are almost similar. Business sector means the having investment and of individual, and then selling the goods, and then industrial sector is more about production of the goods and production of the services, right? So, and self-employment sector under the big business sector. Okay, this is under the business sector. This is also an activities. This is also an act that people do for some earning. Okay, and self-employment means tailoring. It's itself is a business, but there is involvement of the owner, right? Whoever have got the skill of tailoring or handicraft or production of bamboo materials, furnitures, they are involved on their own as as the business person as well. So that's why self-employment system is also another aspect of life subsistence in Nepalese context. Okay. And let's have a look at the commercial and economic system in Nepal. What is the history of commercial and economic development? And commerce and economy is highly focused on or highly related to the uh, transactional economy, transaction of economy. Okay? The income and expenses part, resource part, monetary resource comes within the economic and commercial system. And the economy of Nepal is largely dependent in agriculture and remittances. We have already talked about it. These two are the main sources of life subsistence in Nepalese context. And economic development has been complicated and effective by the constant change in political scenarios, which has ranked from monarchy to be ruled by the National Communist Party in 2019. An isolated uh, mm, agrarian society until the mid 20th century, Nepal entered the modern era in 1951 without schools, hospitals, roads, telephone, telecommunication, electric power, and all, right? And Nepal has made progress towards sustainable economic growth since 2050s and opened the country to economic liberalization, leading to economic growth and improvement in living standards that compared to the past. Okay? It's not compared to the other developmental societies, okay? Other developed society. It is compared to the past. There has been certain changes into the society in the economic, like capability of the society, because people who are being sold in the Gulf and the Middle East countries and Europe, Africa and Australia, everywhere, all around the globe, and then their life have been their living, their lives have been changed in certain extent, and then that is the progress that Nepalese society have has mm, gained through the changes from the Rana regime up till the democratic system, or for last like thousands years of histories. And then what we need to understand is our commercial and economic development is very gradual. That is the main point that we need to understand. The political instability is the main reason for all the hindrances, as all the hindrances of all sectors. The economic instability, the political instability has led all this failure of all the systems, right? So 1950s and opened the liberalization, leading economic growth and improvement living standards than compared to the past. The biggest challenges faced by the country is in achieving higher economic development are the frequent changes in political leaders as well as corruption. These two things are really important that we need to understand whenever we learn about the commercial and economic system. Okay? Political instability and corruption. These are two highly discussed discourses in Nepalese commercial and economic system. There has been lots of developmental plans, the series of 5 years development plans, and then there had been 3 years plan, long-term plan. There has been multiple plans for the development of urban and rural sector. Okay, in 5-year plan, what happens is government, the authority of planning commission develop certain plans and they allocate certain budget for let's say allocated period of time. If certain some program has been launched or introduced in 2015 and it is said that it will end at the end of the 2020, and then they have to allocate certain amount for that particular program. Okay, so that's how the plans works, and then economic transformation occurs in society or in any state or nation. Agriculture remains Nepal's principal economic activity. Employment, about 65% of the population are providing 31.7% of GDP. Agriculture remains the very topmost subsistence, or the topmost source of living for Nepalese, but this has not been modernized. It has not been mechanized, and it has not yet been structuralized. Okay, so the people are just growing the crops, are growing the vegetables just for their own consumption, and in most of the cases. But there has been fewer developments where people have invested huge amount in agriculture sector. Okay, so there has been change, but the agriculture sector has been the most neglected sector in Nepalese context, because we are very much enjoying in the employment of various sectors. Okay. Mm, okay. You can go through this. Okay, it is here, so you can just pause it and you can go through it. Agriculture remains Nepal's principal economic activities, uh, um, employ, employing about 65% of the population, and that contributes into 31.7% of GDP. What contributes? The agriculture. Another food, and then only about 20% of total area is cultivable. Another 40.7% forested, and then most of the rest is mountainous. Fruits and vegetables, all these vegetables as well as rice and wheat are the main food crops. The lowland Tarai region produces an agricultural surplus, part of which supplies the food deficient hill areas. Okay, here has been the exchange, because the whatever material or whatever resources we can get in Tarai, the flat land or lowland, that is not available in upper Himalayas. So there has been exchange. And then but these days we don't exchange that much, because we buy everything, we import everything from our neighboring countries, because they produce the goods and services in very low amount. Okay, so anyways, our economic system goes in this way. We have got certain plans and policies, and then we have got certain periodical plans. हामीले पञ्चवर्षीय योजना भनेको सुनेका छौँ, त्रिवर्षीय योजना भनेर सुनेका छौँ। त्यस पछाडि गएर हामीले अर्को सुनेको छौँ दीर्घकालीन योजना भनेर सुनिरहेछौँ होइन, लङ टर्म प्लान्स. These are the plans that government ensures for the economic and financial development or commercial development of the nation. Infrastructures are also very important aspect for the development of economic sector. Okay. Mm, Basis of industrial and commercial development. What are the basis? What are the need for the industrial and commercial development of Nepal? What are the necessities? Let's take an example. If we wish to start a very huge cement factory in let's say Cabre, what we must have proper infrastructure. Infrastructure for the company, for the manufacturer, or for the manufacturer, and infrastructure for the uh, sales after production, infrastructure for the import of the raw materials for the industrial like parts, industrial aspect, right? If there is no production, commercial economic transaction is not efficient. Road and transportation, ports, airports, industrial villages are some concepts of the infrastructure development. Okay, and then adequate investment. If we don't invest enough, and then we cannot get enough return, right? Let's take an example. If we buy a 5,000 a cell phone, and then we try to play the what is the game, PUBG or Free Fire, and then it doesn't work. That is the return, right? So if we invest more, and then our industrial development and commercial development is also in a very rapid pace, okay, in very rapid manner. And the policy, government should ensure attractive and friendly policy which ensures guarantee of their investment. Government must develop entrepreneur friendly investment policies where people with idea or people with money could get in touch with each other. People with certain brain or idea in their head, and people with lots of money in their pocket, right? If we could develop the platform, the ideal platform, and then that would help the development. But the policy, government policy, must be in accordance to that. Okay. Then market analysis is also really important, because without analyzing the market, we cannot ensure the sufficient or efficient service and product. Okay, so market analysis is very important aspect for commercial and economic development of the nation. Industrial and commercial environment, there must be security and support from the government or the state. That we have already talked in the policy point as well, right? But we can go through this. We can keep industrial and commercial environment within the policy topic as well. Okay, production of indigenous skills, knowledge and skills. Most of the scientific development has been emerged from the hunting and gathering periods. Right? People have learned to develop airplane through the investigation of a vulture, right? So there must be protection of indigenous knowledge, and then if we use the indigenous knowledge and skill, and then if we merge the technology, and then things would get highly effective, and then there will be synergic return. Synergic means 2 plus 2 is equals to 5. Okay? Whenever two bonds together, and then that brings the value of 5, not 4. Okay, mathematically it is 4, but synergically it is 5. Okay. Human resource and political stability, that is also really important. Without having political stability, none of the people would be ready to invest in any sector. Then the commercial aspect of the society is not flourished properly. Okay. So human resource is really also really important. Without having proper and efficient human resource, we cannot get enough or efficient return from any investment that we would do, any individual would do. So there must be political stability, and there must be clear policy and investor friendly policy, and then there must be efficient human resource that would ensure the commercial and economic development of the nation. Okay, present situation or condition of financial sector and industrial sector. We all know about it very well, because how flourished our economic system is, and uh, how developed our industrial sector is, we all are purely known about it, right? Because we don't have that big industrial sectors yet, which would ensure the uh, employment for young people, energetic people. We don't have proper system which would track out the corruption that is going on, right? And that we are not being able to prioritize the industries, whatever are needed and whatever are uh, feasible in Nepalese context. Like, because we need to look at the raw materials, we need to look at our investment capacity, we need to look at our our technological phenomenon, technological dimensions. There are multiple things that we need to understand before we conclude the situation or the present condition of financial sector and industrial sector in Nepal. Okay, corruption, improper policy, lack of vision. These are the things that we need to understand whenever we talk about life subsistence. Okay, employment, agriculture, right? Businesses, and then self-employing businesses. Tourism is also another aspect. Cultural assets. There are multiple things that how do we look at it is really important. Okay, so today we will be wrapping up with this conclusion that the main source of the living for Nepalese society is agriculture, and then that comes the remittance, and then employment, and then mm, let's say okay, industries, and then business sector, and then self-employing sector. Okay, these are the things, and then just go through it and try to understand in a general way, and then you can answer the questions in properly mannered way. Okay, thank you for today, and then we will be having our next session uh, tomorrow or in next video. Okay, in next video we will be talking about national integration. What is the concept of national integration? What is the concept of nationhood and national integration, how they are related to each other, right? Why national integration mm, needs the feeling of nationhood. Okay, national integration simply means uniting people of nation or the state together with some feelings, with some connection, with some coexistence practices. Okay? That can be religion, that can be culture, that can be customs, that can be a brand that is given by the other societies, Gorkhas, right? The tag of bravery that comes from somewhere, right? So nationhood simply means the feelings of ownership towards the nation. How will we be able to ensure the nationhood, and how uniting all the people from the nation is possible through the nationhood practice. The national anthem practice is also one aspect. Giving the holidays for all the religious people and others religion as well. Christmas, all people would get a holiday. It's all about national integration. They want to integrate. They want to ensure the coexistence of each other. Okay. So these will be the concepts that we will be talking in our next session. Thank you for listening. And if you'll have any comments, if you have any questions, and please just write in the comment or email in the